Hello, I just wanted to share a story based on my personal experience recently. So the moral behind the story, if you have no time for the whole story, is that despite one's best intentions, there will always be people who will take it the right way or the wrong way. And I guess the moral of that story is that not everyone's gonna see things the same way, and even then they might not see the same things the same way at the same time, because like we all have good days and bad days, and on good days we see things in positive light, and some days we see things from a negative light, or whatever that different perspective is. So whatever it is you're going through, I hope that this too shall pass. If it's not great, but even if you're having a fantastic time, I guess know that this too shall pass as well. So carpe diem, seize the day. And why I felt what's that word, why I felt called, I feel, or inspired to share this story today is because since I moved to this neighborhood, I've seen stories. I've heard stories from many different perspectives, and in this, how am I gonna say this? Okay, here's the story. There is a public area in this community where I live in, and it's a public area. There's an owner who has a few houses around this particular public area, and from her perspective, this place wasn't very well maintained by the management, and it grew weeds. A long time ago it grew weeds, and then it attracted snakes and other creatures. And because she had really young children then, knowing that this was 12 years ago, and she now has teenage children, they were probably really young then, so she took it upon herself to manicure the garden. And you know, as time passes, one thing led to another. She started putting benches, and she just made, you know, that weeded space a beautiful garden. And then she went a step further and replaced some of the grass area with sand, because we're in front of, you know, the beach. So she thought, why not replace it with sand? And it can be a children's sand pit for people and kids to play in. So what transpired is, over the years there's been lots of drama around it, because some people see it as her taking over public land for her own use, whereas from her perspective, she feels like she's never stopped anyone, and she's fine if people use that because it is public land. But I guess, you know, I can see both sides of the perspective, and I guess it can be quite complicated. And yeah, I guess that's the story that inspired me to share today's moral of the story, which is, I guess, in spite of one's best intentions, some people may see it differently and may see it as a selfish act, whereas some people who choose to see it in a positive way, you know, there are people who feel like she's done good, and some people feel like she has been selfish. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because people are allowed to feel and think and see things from their perspective. I guess it's not right or wrong, it just is what it is. So I just really wanted to share this story because I really feel for everyone involved in such a situation. And from my personal stand, you know, I know people who stand on either side of the fence, and I can see both perspectives. And I guess for me, it just feels sad that we all just can't get along. and agree on one thing. But I also realized that there's no point forcing the issue, because let's just live and let live. And you know, if people change their minds, whichever way, you know, then let that be it. But if not, at current moment, it is what it is. So I hope this story helps you in some way. And yeah, I repeat, the moral of the story is, in spite of your intentions, there will be people who will see it the same way or differently from you. And it is what it is, because I guess it's part of our human experience, where sometimes there are people with you and sometimes there are people who are not. It's part of life, just another experience. So with that, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you for watching and sending you so much love.